Unbreakable Confidence, Transform Your Mind, Transform Your Life, written and published by Audiobooks. Chapter 1. Foundations of Self-Belief. Self-belief is like the bedrock of a strong, sturdy building. Without it, everything else can crumble. But with it, you can withstand the toughest storms. It's the starting point of every success story, the spark that ignites your journey toward greatness. But what exactly is self-belief? At its core, self-belief is the deep-rooted confidence that you can overcome challenges, achieve your goals, and handle whatever life throws at you. It's that inner voice that tells you, "I can do this," even when the odds seem stacked against you. Developing self-belief isn't about pretending to be perfect or fooling yourself into thinking you're invincible. It's about recognizing your strengths, acknowledging your weaknesses, and still believing in your ability to grow and succeed. It's about understanding that you are a work in progress and that every step, whether forward or backward, is a part of your journey. This belief in yourself is not something you are born with, it's something you cultivate over time. It's a skill that you can build, much like learning to ride a bike or play an instrument. One of the most important aspects of building self-belief is learning to silence the negative voices in your head. We all have them, those nagging thoughts that tell us we're not good enough, not smart enough, not capable enough. These thoughts can be loud and convincing, but they are not the truth. They are simply fears and doubts that we've picked up along the way, often from past experiences or the opinions of others. To build self-belief, you must challenge these negative thoughts and replace them with positive, empowering ones. Start by paying attention to your inner dialogue. What do you say to yourself when you face a challenge? Do you encourage yourself, or do you criticize? If you find that your self-talk is often negative, it's time to make a change. Begin by consciously choosing to speak to yourself with kindness and encouragement. Instead of saying, "I can't do this," try saying, "This is tough, but I can handle it." Instead of thinking, "I'm not good enough," remind yourself, "I am capable and learning every day." Over time, this shift in mindset will help to reinforce your self-belief. Another crucial part of building self-belief is taking action. Confidence doesn't come from sitting on the sidelines, it comes from getting in the game. Every time you step out of your comfort zone and try something new, you're sending a message to yourself that you believe in your ability to handle challenges. It's not about being perfect, it's about being brave enough to try. Whether it's starting a new project, speaking up in a meeting, or learning a new skill, each small step you take builds your confidence and strengthens your belief in yourself. It's also important to surround yourself with people who believe in you. The people you spend time with can have a big impact on your self-belief. If you're constantly around negativity and doubt, it's easy to start doubting yourself. But if you're surrounded by supportive, encouraging people, their belief in you can help bolster your own. Seek out relationships that uplift you, and don't be afraid to distance yourself from those that bring you down. Remember, you deserve to be around people who see your potential and encourage you to reach it. Finally, celebrate your successes, no matter how small they may seem. Every victory, every goal achieved, is proof that you are capable and strong. When you take the time to acknowledge your accomplishments, you reinforce your self-belief. It's easy to focus on what you haven't done or where you've fallen short, but it's important to also recognize and celebrate how far you've come. Each step forward, no matter how small, is a testament to your strength and resilience. Chapter 2. Overcoming Fear and Doubt. Fear and doubt are two of the biggest obstacles to building confidence. They have a way of sneaking into our minds and convincing us that we're not good enough or that we'll fail if we try. But the truth is, fear and doubt are just feelings, they are not facts. And the good news is, you can learn to overcome them. Fear is a natural part of life. Everyone feels it at some point, whether it's fear of failure, fear of rejection, or even fear of the unknown. But the key to overcoming fear is not to avoid it or pretend it doesn't exist. Instead, it's about facing it head-on and pushing through it. When you do this, you'll find that fear loses its power over you. The first step in overcoming fear is to acknowledge it. Don't try to ignore it or push it away. Instead, take a moment to recognize what you're feeling and why. Ask yourself, what am I really afraid of? Often, when we dig a little deeper, we find that our fears are based on worst-case scenarios that may never happen. By bringing your fears into the light, you can start to see them for what they really are, just thoughts in your mind, not reality. Once you've acknowledged your fear, the next step is to take action. Fear feeds on inaction. The longer you wait to do something, the bigger and scarier it can seem. But when you take even a small step forward, you start to break the cycle of fear. Action is the antidote to fear. It doesn't have to be a huge step, just something that moves you in the direction you want to go. As you take action, you'll start to build momentum, and the fear will begin to fade. Doubt is a close cousin of fear. It's that nagging voice in your head that questions your abilities and makes you second-guess yourself. What if I'm not good enough? What if I fail? What if people don't like me? These doubts can be paralyzing if you let them take over. But just like fear, doubt is something you can overcome. One of the best ways to tackle doubt is to remind yourself of your past successes. Think back to a time when you accomplished something you were proud of, even if it was just a small win. What did it feel like? What did you do to make it happen? By focusing on your strengths and achievements, you can start to quiet the voice of doubt in your mind. Another way to overcome doubt is to challenge it with evidence. When doubt creeps in, ask yourself, is this really true? Often, you'll find that your doubts are not based on facts, but on fears or insecurities. For example, if you doubt your ability to succeed in a new job, ask yourself, what skills do I have that make me a good fit for this role? Or, what have I done in the past that shows I can handle this? By grounding yourself in reality, you can start to see that your doubts are often unfounded. It's also important to remember that everyone experiences fear and doubt. You are not alone in this. Even the most successful people in the world have moments of uncertainty. The difference is that they don't let fear and doubt stop them. They acknowledge these feelings, and then they move forward anyway, and you can do the same. One powerful way to keep fear and doubt in check is to surround yourself with positivity. Spend time with people who believe in you and encourage you. Read books, listen to podcasts, or watch videos that inspire and uplift you. The more you fill your mind with positive messages, the less room there is for fear and doubt to take hold. Another helpful strategy is to practice self-compassion. It's easy to be hard on yourself when you feel afraid or uncertain. You might think, I should be braver, or I should be more confident. But this kind of self-criticism only makes things worse. Instead, try treating yourself with the same kindness and understanding you would offer to a friend. Remind yourself that it's okay to feel afraid or doubtful, and that these feelings don't define you, they are just a part of your journey. Finally, remember that overcoming fear and doubt is a process. It's not something that happens overnight. There will be times when you feel strong and confident, and times when you feel scared and uncertain. That's okay. The important thing is to keep moving forward, one step at a time. Each time you face your fears and doubts, you become a little stronger and a little more confident. Chapter 3: The Power of Positive Thinking. Positive thinking is more than just a feel-good phrase. It's a powerful tool that can change your life in incredible ways. The way you think shapes your reality. When you focus on positive thoughts, you open yourself up to opportunities, possibilities, and a brighter outlook on life. It's like switching on a light in a dark room. Suddenly, everything becomes clearer, and you can see the path ahead. At its core, positive thinking is about focusing on what's good in your life and expecting good things to happen. It doesn't mean ignoring problems or pretending that everything is perfect. Instead, it's about approaching life's challenges with a mindset that says, I can handle this, and believing that things will work out for the best. It's about choosing to see the silver lining in every situation, no matter how tough it may be. One of the most powerful effects of positive thinking is how it impacts your emotions and overall well-being. When you focus on positive thoughts, you naturally feel happier, more relaxed, and more at peace with yourself and the world around you. This doesn't just make you feel good, it also has real benefits for your health. Studies have shown that people who practice positive thinking tend to have lower levels of stress, better immune function, and even longer lifespans. Positive thinking also has a huge impact on your confidence. When you believe in your ability to succeed and focus on the positive aspects of a situation, you're more likely to take risks, try new things, and push yourself out of your comfort zone. This, in turn, leads to more opportunities for growth and success. On the other hand, negative thinking can keep you stuck in a cycle of fear and self-doubt, making it harder to move forward. So how can you cultivate the power of positive thinking in your own life? It all starts with your mindset. The thoughts you choose to focus on each day determine your outlook on life. If you constantly dwell on the negatives, you'll find yourself feeling anxious, stressed, and overwhelmed. But if you make a conscious effort to focus on the positives, you'll start to see the world in a whole new light. One way to start thinking more positively is to practice gratitude. Gratitude is the simple act of being thankful for the good things in your life. When you take time each day to reflect on what you're grateful for, you shift your focus away from what's lacking and towards what's abundant. This doesn't have to be anything big or extraordinary. It could be something as simple as a beautiful sunset, a kind word from a friend, or a delicious meal. The more you practice gratitude, the more you train your mind to focus on the positive. Another powerful technique is to reframe your thoughts. When you catch yourself thinking negatively, ask yourself, is there another way to look at this? For example, if you're facing a difficult challenge, instead of thinking, this is too hard, I'll never get through it, try reframing it to, this is tough, but I'm strong enough to handle it. By changing the way you think about a situation, you can change the way you feel about it, and ultimately, the way you respond to it. It's also important to be mindful of the words you use, both in your thoughts and in your conversations with others. Words have power, and the language you choose can either uplift or bring you down. Instead of saying, I can't, try saying, I'll try, or I'm working on it. Instead of focusing on what's wrong, talk about what's going well. The more you use positive language, the more it will become a natural part of your thinking. Surrounding yourself with positivity is another key to harnessing the power of positive thinking. This means spending time with people who uplift and inspire you, and who encourage you to see the best in yourself and others. It also means filling your mind with positive influences, like books, podcasts, or movies that inspire and motivate you. The more positivity you invite into your life, the more it will shape your thoughts and attitudes. It's also important to remember that positive thinking is a habit, and like any habit, it takes time to develop. You might not see results overnight, and that's okay. The key is to be consistent and patient with yourself. Start small by setting aside a few minutes each day to practice positive thinking. Over time, you'll find that it becomes easier and more natural, and that your overall outlook on life begins to shift. Of course, there will still be times when negative thoughts creep in. This is normal, and it doesn't mean you're failing. What matters is how you respond to those thoughts. Instead of letting them take over, acknowledge them, and then consciously choose to focus on something positive instead. With practice, you'll find that you're able to bounce back from negativity more quickly and easily. Chapter 4: Building Resilience. Life is full of ups and downs, and no matter who you are, there will be times when things don't go your way. It's during these tough moments that resilience becomes so important. Resilience is the ability to bounce back from setbacks, to keep going even when things get difficult, and to stay strong in the face of adversity. It's like a muscle that you can strengthen over time, and the more resilient you become, the better equipped you are to handle whatever life throws at you. Building resilience starts with accepting that challenges and setbacks are a natural part of life. No one has a perfect, problem-free existence, and trying to avoid difficulties altogether is not realistic. Instead, it's about learning how to face challenges head-on and finding ways to overcome them. When you accept that setbacks are part of the journey, it becomes easier to deal with them when they arise. You stop seeing them as roadblocks and start viewing them as opportunities for growth. One of the most important aspects of resilience is having a positive mindset. This doesn't mean ignoring the difficulties you're facing or pretending everything is fine when it's not. It means choosing to focus on the things you can control, rather than dwelling on what you can't. When you approach challenges with a mindset that says, I can get through this, you're already halfway to overcoming them. It's about believing in your ability to cope and trusting that, no matter how tough things get, you have the strength to push through. Another key part of resilience is flexibility. Life is unpredictable, and things don't always go according to plan. Being resilient means being able to adapt to new situations and finding ways to adjust when things change. This might mean coming up with a new plan, trying a different approach, or simply taking a step back to reassess the situation. The more flexible you are, the easier it is to navigate life's challenges without getting overwhelmed. Resilience also involves learning from your experiences. When you go through a difficult time, it's natural to feel discouraged or upset. But it's important to reflect on what happened and ask yourself, what can I learn from this? Every setback is an opportunity to grow and become stronger. Maybe it's learning how to better handle stress or discovering a new way to solve a problem. By looking for the lessons in every situation, you turn challenges into valuable experiences that help you build even more resilience. Building resilience also means taking care of yourself. It's hard to stay strong when you're physically or emotionally drained. This is why self-care is such an important part of resilience. Taking care of your body by eating well, getting enough sleep, and exercising regularly can help you stay strong and ready to face challenges. Similarly, taking care of your mental and emotional health by practicing relaxation techniques, staying connected with loved ones, and doing things that make you happy can help you stay balanced and resilient in tough times. Another powerful way to build resilience is to surround yourself with supportive people. Having a strong support system can make all the difference when you're going through a difficult time. Friends, family, or even a mentor can offer encouragement, advice, and a listening ear when you need it most. Knowing that you have people in your corner who believe in you and are there to help you through tough times can give you the strength to keep going even when things get hard. It's also important to remember that resilience is not about being strong all the time. Everyone has moments when they feel down, overwhelmed, or unsure of themselves. Building resilience is about acknowledging those feelings, allowing yourself to feel them, and then finding a way to move forward. It's okay to ask for help when you need it, and it's okay to take a break if you're feeling exhausted. Being resilient means knowing when to push through and when to take a step back to recharge. Finally, building resilience takes time and practice. It's not something that happens overnight, and that's okay. The more you face challenges and overcome them, the stronger your resilience becomes. Each time you get through a tough situation, you prove to yourself that you can handle whatever comes your way. Over time, you'll find that you're able to bounce back more quickly, handle stress more effectively, and face life's challenges with greater confidence. Chapter 5. Mastering Body Language. Body language is a powerful tool that can say as much, if not more, than the words you speak. It's a form of nonverbal communication that includes your posture, facial expressions, gestures, and even the way you move. Whether you're aware of it or not, your body language sends signals to others about how you feel, what you're thinking, and how confident you are. Learning to master body language can not only help you communicate more effectively, but also boost your confidence and help you connect better with others. One of the first things to understand about body language is that it reflects your inner state. When you feel confident, your body naturally shows it. You stand taller, make more eye contact, and move with purpose. On the other hand, when you're feeling unsure or nervous, your body tends to close off. Maybe you hunch your shoulders, avoid eye contact, or fidget. The good news is that this works both ways. By consciously adjusting your body language, you can actually influence how you feel on the inside. Start by paying attention to your posture. Good posture is the foundation of confident body language. When you stand or sit up straight, with your shoulders back and your head held high, you not only look more confident but also feel more confident. It's a simple change that can make a big difference in how you're perceived by others and how you feel about yourself. Practice maintaining good posture throughout the day, whether you're at your desk, walking, or even just sitting on the couch. Eye contact is another crucial aspect of body language. Making eye contact shows that you're engaged, confident, and interested in the conversation. It helps build trust and makes others feel more connected to you. If you're not used to making eye contact, it might feel uncomfortable at first, but with practice, it becomes easier. Try to maintain eye contact for a few seconds at a time, then look away briefly before returning to the person's eyes. This shows that you're paying attention without staring, which can feel intimidating. Your facial expressions are also key in mastering body language. A genuine smile can go a long way in making you appear more approachable and friendly. It's a simple way to convey positivity and warmth, which helps put others at ease. On the flip side, a furrowed brow or frown can make you seem worried or unapproachable. Be mindful of your facial expressions and try to keep them relaxed and positive, especially in social or professional settings. Gestures play a big role in how you communicate as well. Open, expansive gestures, like spreading your arms or using your hands while you talk, tend to convey confidence and openness. They show that you're comfortable and in control. On the other hand, closed-off gestures, like crossing your arms or keeping your hands in your pockets, can make you seem defensive or unapproachable. Practice using gestures that complement what you're saying, but be careful not to overdo it. The key is to be natural and not forced. Another important aspect of body language is how you move. Confident people tend to move with purpose. Whether you're walking, standing, or sitting, aim to do so with intention. Avoid small, nervous movements like fidgeting, tapping your foot, or playing with your hair. These can make you seem anxious or unsure. Instead, focus on slow, deliberate movements that reflect calmness and control. This not only makes you appear more confident, but also helps you feel more in control of your emotions. One of the most powerful ways to master body language is to mirror the body language of others. Mirroring is when you subtly copy the gestures, posture, and movements of the person you're interacting with. This creates a sense of connection and rapport, making the other person feel more comfortable with you. For example, if the person you're talking to leans forward, you might also lean forward slightly. If they smile, you smile too. Mirroring should be subtle and natural, not obvious or exaggerated. While mastering your own body language is important, it's equally important to be aware of the body language of others. By paying attention to the nonverbal cues of the people you interact with, you can get a better sense of how they're feeling and what they're thinking. Are they comfortable and engaged, or are they closed off and distant? Understanding these signals can help you adjust your own behavior to create a more positive interaction. In any situation, confident body language is about more than just looking the part. It's about genuinely feeling confident on the inside. The more you practice these techniques, the more natural they will become, and the more your inner confidence will shine through. Remember, body language is a powerful tool that you can use to your advantage in every aspect of your life, whether it's in a job interview, a social gathering, or simply interacting with friends and family. Chapter 6: The Art of Effective Communication. Communication is one of the most essential skills you can have in life. It's how we connect with others, share our thoughts and feelings, and build relationships. Whether you're talking to a friend, having a meeting at work, or even chatting with a stranger, how you communicate can make a huge difference in how you're understood and how others respond to you. Mastering the art of effective communication can help you express yourself clearly, understand others better, and create stronger connections with the people around you. The first step to effective communication is learning to listen. It might seem obvious, but many people don't really listen when someone else is talking. Instead, they're thinking about what they're going to say next or getting distracted by other things. But real communication starts with listening, not just hearing the words, but truly understanding what the other person is saying. When you listen carefully, you show the other person that you value what they're saying, which makes them feel respected and appreciated. Active listening is a great technique to improve your communication. This means giving the person your full attention, nodding to show you're following along, and even repeating back what they've said in your own words to make sure you've understood correctly. For example, you might say, "So what you're saying is," or, "I understand that you're feeling." This not only helps you understand better, but also shows the other person that you're really engaged in the conversation. Another important part of communication is being clear and concise. Sometimes, when we're trying to explain something, we can get caught up in too many details or go off on tangents. This can make it hard for the other person to follow what you're saying. To communicate effectively, try to be clear and to the point. Think about what you want to say before you say it, and try to express it as simply as possible. This makes it easier for the other person to understand you and keeps the conversation on track. It's also important to be aware of your tone of voice. How you say something can be just as important as what you say. Your tone of voice can convey a lot of meaning, from enthusiasm and interest to boredom or frustration. For example, if you're excited about something, let that excitement show in your voice. On the other hand, if you're discussing a serious topic, a calm and measured tone can help convey the importance of what you're saying. Being mindful of your tone helps ensure that your message is received in the way you intend. Nonverbal communication is another key aspect of effective communication. Your body language, facial expressions, and gestures all play a big role in how your message is received. For example, making eye contact shows that you're engaged and confident, while crossing your arms might make you seem closed off or defensive. A smile can make you seem more approachable and friendly, while a frown might give the impression that you're upset or disinterested. By being aware of your nonverbal signals, you can make sure that they align with what you're trying to communicate. Empathy is also crucial in communication. Empathy means putting yourself in the other person's shoes and trying to understand their feelings and perspective. When you communicate with empathy, you're more likely to connect with the other person on a deeper level. You're not just exchanging words, you're understanding and acknowledging their emotions. This can make your communication more meaningful and build stronger relationships. Another important aspect of communication is asking questions. Asking questions shows that you're interested in what the other person has to say and that you're engaged in the conversation. It also helps clarify things if you're not sure about something. Open-ended questions, which require more than a yes or no answer, are particularly useful for encouraging a deeper conversation. For example, instead of asking, "Did you have a good day?" you might ask, "What was the best part of your day?" This invites the other person to share more and keeps the conversation flowing. It's also important to be mindful of the other person's perspective. Sometimes we can get so focused on what we want to say that we forget to consider how the other person might feel or think about the situation. Taking a moment to think about the other person's point of view can help you communicate more effectively. It shows that you respect their opinion and are willing to consider it, which can lead to a more open and productive conversation. Another key to effective communication is being open and honest. People appreciate honesty, even if it's not always easy to hear. When you communicate openly, you build trust and show that you're genuine. Of course, it's important to be tactful and considerate in how you express yourself, but being truthful is always the best policy. It's also okay to admit when you don't know something or when you've made a mistake. This shows humility and makes you more relatable. Finally, remember that communication is a two-way street. It's not just about getting your message across, but also about being open to receiving and understanding the messages from others. Effective communication involves a balance of talking and listening, expressing yourself, and being open to others' ideas and feelings. It's about creating a connection where both parties feel heard, understood, and respected. Chapter 7. Embracing failure as a stepping stone. Failure is something that everyone experiences at some point in their lives. It's a part of being human. Whether it's a mistake at work, a relationship that didn't work out, or a goal that wasn't achieved, failure can feel discouraging and even painful. But what if we looked at failure differently? What if, instead of seeing it as something to avoid, we saw it as a necessary part of growth and success? Embracing failure as a stepping stone can transform the way you approach challenges and ultimately lead you to greater achievements. One of the biggest misconceptions about failure is that it's the opposite of success. In reality, failure and success are closely connected. Think of failure as a stepping stone on the path to success, not as a dead end. Each failure brings with it valuable lessons that can help you improve and get closer to your goals. When you fail, you have the opportunity to learn what doesn't work, which brings you one step closer to finding what does. It's important to remember that everyone fails, even the most successful people in the world. In fact, many of the most accomplished individuals have faced significant failures before achieving their goals. Thomas Edison, for example, famously failed thousands of times before successfully inventing the light bulb. When asked about his failures, he didn't see them as wasted efforts. Instead, he viewed each failure as a discovery of one more way that didn't work, bringing him closer to the solution. When you embrace failure as a learning experience, it takes away much of the fear and anxiety that often accompanies it. Instead of worrying about making mistakes, you can focus on what you can learn from the experience. This shift in perspective can be incredibly empowering. It allows you to take risks, try new things, and push yourself beyond your comfort zone, knowing that even if you fail, you'll gain something valuable from the experience. Another key to embracing failure is to be kind to yourself when things don't go as planned. It's easy to be your own harshest critic, but beating yourself up over failures doesn't help you move forward. Instead, practice self-compassion. Acknowledge that you're human and that making mistakes is a natural part of life. Give yourself permission to fail and to learn from those failures without judgment. This kind of self-kindness can help you bounce back more quickly and with a positive attitude. It's also helpful to reframe how you think about failure. Instead of seeing it as a sign that you're not good enough, view it as a necessary step in the process of learning and growing. Failure isn't a reflection of your worth or abilities, it's simply feedback. It's the universe's way of guiding you toward a better path, a better approach, or a better version of yourself. When you start to see failure in this light, it becomes much less intimidating and much more manageable. One way to embrace failure is to set small, achievable goals and celebrate the progress you make, even if it's not perfect. By focusing on the small wins, you build momentum and confidence, which makes it easier to keep going, even when setbacks occur. Over time, these small steps add up to significant progress, and you'll find that what once seemed like a failure was actually just a stepping stone toward your success. Another important aspect of embracing failure is sharing your experiences with others. Talking about your failures can be incredibly liberating and can also help others who might be going through similar challenges. When you're open about your failures, you normalize them and reduce the stigma around making mistakes. You also create opportunities to learn from others' experiences and to offer support and encouragement in return. Chapter 8. Developing Unshakable Self-Worth. Self-worth is the belief that you are valuable and deserving of love, respect, and good things in life simply because you exist. It's not something that's based on your achievements, appearance, or how others see you. Instead, it comes from within and is about recognizing your inherent value as a person. Developing unshakable self-worth means understanding that your worth isn't tied to external factors, it's something that no one can take away from you. One of the first steps in building unshakable self-worth is letting go of the idea that your value is determined by what you do or what you have. Society often teaches us that our worth is based on things like our job, our income, or how we look. But these things are temporary and can change at any moment. When you tie your self-worth to them, you make your sense of value fragile and easily shaken. True self-worth comes from knowing that you are valuable just as you are, regardless of external circumstances. To develop unshakable self-worth, it's important to start by accepting yourself completely, flaws and all. Everyone has imperfections and makes mistakes. That's part of being human, but those things don't diminish your value. In fact, accepting your imperfections is a sign of strength. It shows that you're willing to embrace all parts of yourself, not just the parts that you think are good or acceptable. Self-acceptance is the foundation of true self-worth. Another important aspect of self-worth is treating yourself with kindness and compassion. How you talk to yourself matters. If you constantly criticize yourself or put yourself down, you're chipping away at your sense of worth. Instead, practice speaking to yourself as you would to a good friend, with encouragement, understanding, and support. When you're kind to yourself, you reinforce the belief that you are worthy of love and care. It's also crucial to set boundaries in your life that protect your self-worth. This means saying no to things that don't serve you or that make you feel less than. It might mean distancing yourself from people who don't respect you or who bring negativity into your life. Setting boundaries is an act of self-respect, and it reinforces the idea that you are worthy of being treated well. It also helps you maintain a strong sense of self-worth, even when faced with difficult situations. Developing unshakable self-worth also involves focusing on your inner qualities rather than external achievements. Take some time to reflect on the things that make you unique, the qualities that you bring to the world. Maybe you're a good listener, a loyal friend, or someone who always tries to see the positive side of things. These are the things that truly define your worth, not the awards you've won or the money you've made. When you recognize and appreciate your inner qualities, you build a stronger, more resilient sense of self-worth. It's also important to surround yourself with people who uplift and support you. The people in your life should remind you of your worth, not make you doubt it. Seek out relationships that are positive and nurturing, and let go of those that make you feel less than. When you're surrounded by people who appreciate you for who you are, it's easier to maintain a strong sense of self-worth. Another key to developing unshakable self-worth is to stop comparing yourself to others. It's easy to fall into the trap of comparing your life to someone else's and feeling like you don't measure up. But everyone's journey is different, and comparing yourself to others only diminishes your sense of self-worth. Instead of focusing on what others have, focus on your own path and what makes you unique. Celebrate your own successes and progress, no matter how small they might seem. Finally, remember that your self-worth is not something that needs to be earned. You don't have to do anything special to be worthy, you already are. Your worth is inherent, and it's not something that can be taken away by external events or the opinions of others. When you truly believe in your own worth, it gives you a sense of inner peace and confidence that can't be shaken by the ups and downs of life. Chapter 9. Cultivating a Growth Mindset. A growth mindset is the belief that your abilities and intelligence can be developed through dedication and hard work. It's about understanding that you can always improve, learn, and grow, no matter where you start. Cultivating a growth mindset can transform how you approach challenges, handle setbacks, and achieve your goals. It's a powerful tool for personal development and success. The first step in cultivating a growth mindset is to embrace the idea that challenges are opportunities for growth. Instead of avoiding difficult tasks or giving up when things get tough, see these moments as chances to learn and improve. When you face a challenge, you're pushing yourself beyond your comfort zone, which is where real growth happens. By changing your perspective on challenges, you open yourself up to new experiences and possibilities. Another key aspect of a growth mindset is understanding that effort is crucial to success. People with a growth mindset know that talent alone isn't enough to achieve their goals. They believe that hard work and perseverance are essential. When you put in the effort and stay committed, you build skills and make progress, even if it takes time. Celebrate your efforts and recognize that each step forward, no matter how small, brings you closer to your goals. It's also important to view mistakes and failures as part of the learning process. Everyone makes mistakes, and no one is perfect. The difference between a fixed mindset and a growth mindset is how you respond to these mistakes. Instead of letting failures discourage you, see them as valuable feedback. Analyze what went wrong, learn from it, and use that knowledge to improve. Mistakes are not a reflection of your abilities but a chance to grow and become better. Cultivating a growth mindset also involves being open to feedback. Constructive criticism is an opportunity to learn and improve. When you receive feedback, listen to it with an open mind and without taking it personally. Use it as a guide to help you identify areas where you can grow. Seeking out feedback from others can also provide new perspectives and insights that you might not have considered on your own. Another important element of a growth mindset is setting realistic and achievable goals. Instead of aiming for perfection, focus on setting goals that challenge you and are within reach with effort and practice. Break these goals down into smaller, manageable steps. This makes it easier to track your progress and stay motivated. Each small achievement builds confidence and reinforces the belief that you can grow and improve. It's also helpful to surround yourself with people who have a growth mindset. Being around individuals who value learning and development can inspire and motivate you. They can offer support, share their experiences, and provide encouragement as you work towards your goals. Engaging with a community that values growth can help reinforce your own growth mindset and keep you on track. One way to foster a growth mindset is to practice self-reflection. Regularly take time to reflect on your progress, challenges, and successes. Ask yourself questions like, "What have I learned from this experience?" Or, "How can I improve in this area?" Self-reflection helps you stay aware of your growth and keeps you focused on continuous improvement. Another strategy is to adopt a yet mentality. When you encounter difficulties or feel like you're not good enough, remind yourself that you might not have mastered it yet. The word yet shifts your perspective from one of limitation to one of potential. It reinforces the idea that with time and effort, you can overcome obstacles and achieve your goals. Remember, developing a growth mindset is a journey, not a destination. It requires practice and patience. There will be times when you face setbacks or feel discouraged, but that's part of the process. Stay committed to learning and growing, and be kind to yourself along the way. Recognize your progress and celebrate your successes, no matter how small.